Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. One more time, we are here in Gravity 2. Again, your coach, Peter Parker, is in the house. No, I'm not wearing my Spider-Man costume. Anyways, let's solve an addition with fractions. And make sure that when we answer it, we know that the answer is called the sum. Okay, now the first step is one. Let's write steps right here. Step number one. We gotta find common denominators. Okay, there it is. We gotta find common denominators. So how do we do that? Okay, now, so we rewrite the problem here is 2/3 plus 1/4 plus 1/2. Okay, the first thing we gotta do, my friends, is find the number in which this a large number in which these three numbers can become and can be divisible by that number. Well, let me tell you what I mean by that. For example, we can see that 4 times 3 times 4 equals 12. So now these two can have the denominator of 12. Now, how do we make the two to have a common denominator? Well, the only way we can do it is by multiplying it by 6. So now we know that they can all have a common denominator of 12. Now, how do you approach that problem? Well, let's look at how we're going to approach this problem. I know that if I multiply 3 times 4, that will equal 12. So I have to do the same thing with that numerator. I use the opposite denominator. That's going to equal 12, right? So 4 times 3 equals 12, and the numerator is 4 times 2 equals 8. Now, I got to make sure this also has common denominator, and I can multiply the 4 times the 3, and that's going to make it 12. So the numerator has to be multiplied by 3 as well. And when we multiply, we say 1 times 3 equals 3 on the numerator, and 4 times 3 equals 12. So notice that we have common denominators. And you will say, well, the number 2 cannot be multiplied by 2 or 4 or 3 to make 12. How are we going to do that? Well, we know that 2 can be multiplied by 6. And the numerator has to be multiplied by 6. Why? Because 2 times 6 equals 12, and 1 times 6 equals 6. So now, as you can see, they all have a common denominator. So the answer is, we write the common denominator, and we're going to add up all the numerators. So we know that 8 plus 3 equals 11. 11 plus 3 equals 17. So now here we know that this is an improper fraction. How do I know that? Because the numerator is greater than that denominator. All right, so now we found the common denominator. Step number 2 is convert improper fraction to mixed number. And how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to do that by rewriting the mixed number. This is 12, 7, no, the other way around, my friends. Excuse my error here. You have to be alert in mathematics. You can easily make a mistake, and that can be detrimental because math is an exact science. So what I teach my students is this. You got to find the numbers that have the same denominator. Why? Because they are it's a common denominator. That is simple. And then we have to find a number here that equals 1. And you know that if you take away 12 from 17, the remainder will be 5. And why do I say 12? Because I need to choose 12 from the numerator. So when I divide it by the denominator here, it becomes 1. So now we know that this is 1. So that's going to be 12 divided by 12 equals 1 plus 5 twelfths. 5 twelfths. Now we can rewrite it as 1 and 5 twelfths, my friends. So now we converted the improper fraction into a mixed number. Now there is one more step. We have to figure it out first to see if there is. So that's going to be a step number 3. And that step number 3, we're going to call it simplification. So we're going to say simplify. So what am I going to simplify? Well, you're going to simplify the number that you already have there is 1 and 5 twelfths. And how do you know what to do? Well, you're going to grab the fractions, the numbers on the fractions. You grab the numerator and the denominator. And you say, okay, 5, these are going to be the factors of 5, and these are going to be the factors of 12. And you find the factors. You start with the 1. 1 times 5 equals 5. And I cannot say that 2 times another number equals 5. So 5 is a prime number because it only has 2 factors, 1 and itself. Now let's look at 12. 1 times 12 equals 12. 2 times 6 equals 12. And 3 times 4 equals 12. And I believe that's it. Now, what is the purpose of that particular activity? Well, the purpose of that particular activity is to see if there is a number that is in common that they can both be divided by. And it looks like 1 is the only number that they have in common, which is not a lot of help. Because if you divide the fraction by 1 over 1, it's going to give you the same answer. As a matter of fact, let me show you. Let's say because they share this common denominator, this common factor, then we can see that if you use the factor, it's going to be the 1 stays the same. You say 5 divided by 1 equals 5, and 12 divided by 1 equals 12. So it doesn't change anything because any number multiplied by itself, it gives you the same number. So now in this case, my friends, there is no simplification. On this one, I can say there is no simplification. Because the only factor, the only common factor is 1. Okay? So again, review these problems. You stop with finding the common denominators. Next, you convert the improper fraction to a mixed number if there is an improper fraction. And the third step is to simplify the mixed number if there is a need. So there you have it, my friend, from Coach Peter Parker. 3 steps to solve an addition problem with 3 different fractions. My friends, review the video, ask questions in class, pause the video when you need to, and become a better mathematician. I will recommend it to you because here's the thing. You will feel better. You will feel that you accomplished something. And here's what happens. Your confidence level, my friends, when you see that you can achieve things, your confidence level goes, bam. Then you move a little to the right, you plateau, and then you go up, and then you plateau a little more, and then you go up, and you're like, you are on the ladder of success. Please give yourself the gift of life. Become a better mathematician by watching the videos that will help you get better. That is, if you have a difficulty learning fractions. Signing out, Peter Parker from Gravity 2 Studios.